Hey, what's going on, y'all? Back with another one. Back with another one. This is Thursday Thrills, the 42nd edition, I believe. Yeah, the 42nd edition. And we are live. Yeah. Got a lot to talk about, lot to talk about. And it's pretty much it. I want to talk about some interesting stuff today, what I've seen, and, nothing but bullshit. They talking about that case with girl, and they have false arrest. Shouts out to George Macon for that. And people trying to say this is entertainment. Nah, this ain't entertainment. Fuck out of here. Let me get this set up. Okay, Thirsty Thrill series. I won't always keep this series. Might keep it till like February, but in January you're not gonna see none of this. I'll drop a few pre-records like I told y'all, like I promised. And that's it. I'm gonna save it real quick. Check my chat room. Check my chat room real quick. Let's see what's going on in this bitch. Yeah. This thing be acting up. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much. Um, I saw some interesting how should I say it? I saw some interesting things today. I was looking at my stuff from the watch laters and everything, everybody's getting a Christmas on and think it's here, but still early part of December, still fall. You know how it is. And I got more videos to go. I'll tell you what I watched today. Okay. I got a couple in the changer about Bucky Davis and the JMB Junior Black. I don't give a shit about that. It's beyond the fame, his little celebrity nonsense. And then there's street crime. He's got John Tutorial, the one that created the Chicago outfit. Been watching a lot of documentaries about the mob in the early days of the world and shit like that. Let's see what my history law looking like. Yeah, Alvin Preach is funny about that dude from London. His patois is weak. He couldn't even speak it. Crazy as shit. Um, I saw an interesting documentary about Papa Doc and Mussolini. Interesting details about Mussolini, how he rose to power, and they showed it, and I liked it. Very promising. Very promising. It's by criminals and crime fighters. If you watch The Evolution of Evil, the story of Papa Doc and Benito Mussolini, now I talk about him a lot on this channel. And that's a good version talking about fascism in its full form, how he rose to power, and they explained it. Great information. But Papa Doc was amazing. They said he ain't amazing to me, but I'm saying it's amazing how they talk about it. He was in the Voodoo. This dude, most people pronounce his name Duvalier. Now I know Wacky will try to say it's Duvalier. Shouts out to him though. He's half Asian, but it is what it is. But when I saw that documentary, man, he's brutal. But that second term of his was brutal. Now the first term, they attacked him. And it's kind of crazy about what they said about Dessalines and say he died in Haiti. Well, a lot of people try to say that's a lie. We don't know about that because I can't say he went to prison in France. I don't buy that. Where's the evidence? I mean, if I want to cover him, I'll cover him in the future and explain why he died in Haiti, why people still believe that. We'll see. I got to check my realhistory.com that we're found about Dessalines and shit like that. Now, did saw Real Rap Show talking about a story of E Moneybags. Interesting details about him and Jay-Z had a beef in Hot 97. The guy broke it down, Real Rap Show. He broke it down. I saw Charleston White this morning about that 30,000 will say cheese. So I saw a lot of good stuff today. It's nothing on YouTube because this is basically current events and what's going on YouTube and what's going around the internet and offline and things like that. What's going on? But politics still the same. But the election is still on. The runoff is still on. It's December 6th, I believe, Tuesday, and people are still out there voting. And they was voting in droves Monday. A lot of niggas voting. Now it's official, and Warnock may beat him out. It's close, but he gonna beat him out because there's no libertarian in it. They put two people on the ticket as always, and he won in a runoff, and that's it. But then again, speaking of the documentary that I saw today, there's the most intriguing out of all of them because I watched a lot of mafia ones a couple of days ago by others, and And Danny Green, I think I saw him like twice talking about the Cleveland bombing, but that's a whole nother story on him. But let's get to Benito Mussolini. Now, this documentary, if you what is it called again? It's called Evil. It's called Evolution of Evil, right? By Crime Criminals and Crime Fighters channel, right? You can type in the title. It's Evolution of Evil. It says the story of Papa Doc and Benito Mussolini. Now they'll talk about Mussolini first. What he did to the Ethiopians and the Libyans was some barbaric shit, but he didn't give a fuck. He just went full force. Now he lost some wars. Hitler did too. They talked about that, and he kind of mind controlled them at the end because we already know they part of the same secret society that's known as the Jesuit order. You know, I talk about the Jesuits a lot. They represent that. Quiet as kept. You know, that's a fun fact. But Hitler and them guys had their own minds. They went crazy, and the ideology of fascism is what it is. So again, these powers did some damage. So when I look at him, I'm like, and then I saw this documentary with Mussolini. He had a lot of stuff. He was violent when he was young. They was saying, but see, they went in depth. See, I could have did something like that and showed a picture of Benito Mussolini talking about fascism in his rule. I might do another part of that about fascism with him, particularly because what I saw in that documentary, very telling, very vicious, and the sheer violence he committed, you know, left to his death or whatever, you know, Mussolini's what he was. But then Papa Doc was very interesting because when he came into power, he was already a doctor and everything. He left it, but he was into this voodoo and all this other stuff, but he didn't believe in it. He used it for his advantage to control people. So the first half, they tried to kill him. He hired thugs and criminals to be his own personal security this first go around. Because the first iteration of that group, I forget what it's called. It's a French term about those guys with the shades. Y'all can say something in French and come and y'all can look it up because y'all know what I'm talking about. When they mentioned them, that's fact. And the first group he had in the military, they wasn't doing their job protecting him. He was paranoid then. Then he had diabetes, and then he had that coma pass out. He just went insane. That's what riddled him to his death. He had congestive heart failure and things like that. He had all types of diseases on the second term. The first term, he was a little ruthless, but they wasn't as mean as the second term he was. He demanded hits and all types of shit. His story is very intriguing. That's what saved that documentary because when you didn't mention Papa Doc, they tried to, you know, you got some people in the comments acting all anti, you know, this, you know, everybody's anti this country, but they fake about it. They're not really about that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fake motherfuckers in the comment section. But the ones that knew what down in Haiti, Haiti's still scarred by Papa Doc's rule. And I believe Baby Doc as well. But it's a lot, you know, Haiti's been a mess for years. Goes back after the revolution. After that, Papa Doc didn't want to end up like those previous leaders. So they got tired and they said, fuck it. And he stranglehold Haiti for years. And Haiti's still the poorest in the world because of Papa Doc, not because of France. It's because of him. And the influence of outside help. You know, Haiti's a mess now. It ain't going to be in its foundation ever again. So it's pretty much you see things from that perspective, and then you be like, okay, this is going around, and they was talking about his death and everything on the tail end, but in the beginning, he was really ruthless. Now, the first half, when he hired those guys, if y'all watch it, they, you know, they try to protect him, but he had a hard time protecting himself, and they was coming out with guns, but he defeated them. But then he wants something better. He wants the thugs and the prisons to be his personal security. So it's like, it's pretty much, I'm gonna lay it out for y'all. Right, I'm gonna lay it out for y'all. So it's like, it's pretty much, I've seen stories like this all the time, talking about coups and shit. But people don't realize that when you look at these documentaries, they have some knowledge of what's going on. But I'll show you. I'll put this in the chat if y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But check it out, though. Check it out. This is one of the very few documentaries I give kudos to because it breaks down both of them beautifully. See, I don't talk about Papa Doc as much on this channel because I let the Haitian people speak or people in the comments, and if they want to see some research on it, I'll do it. But Papa Doc was something else. He kind of fucked up Haiti, but Haiti was fucked up then, but not to the level what you see now in his second run. He want to be president for life. They don't say that, and I'm glad they said that in the documentary. But there you go. I just put it in the chat room and things like that, and yeah, I use my phone to do it, and then I'm not playing that tonight. But if y'all want to check it out, here you go. Y'all can check that out, and it's pretty much it's like an hour long. But when you get used to Benito Mussolini's story, his story is very unique. He was stabbing kids, fucking them up. It is what it is. I sat in this chair today and I looked at that. I was like, man, and especially Papa Doc. And then he was ruthless too. And the people of Haiti just weren't going for it. But that public execution on television, the guys that come from New York and is trying to remove him in the 60s, that didn't work. That didn't work. He killed them all. He killed all, I believe, 13 of them. They tried to do what Castro did and Che Guevara did. That didn't work. And Haiti's terrain was different. And the reason why their terrain was so different, it is what it was, and that's how it ended. What's going on, Mike? Salute. And that's pretty much what I've seen lately on that documentary. But it broke down Papa Doc's ruthless history. And then you look at him now like Baby Doc, and after that, success. But he died with his own diseases and it was riddled. He died at the age of 63, I believe. He was 63 when he passed away. 63. Right? He was 63 when he passed away. 63 years old. Didn't live to see 80. He died in 86, but he was 63 years old. I'll show you him in a minute. He's the former president of Haiti. Francis Duvalier, or most people say Duvalier. Some people pronounce him Duvalier or Duvalier or something like that in French. That was his name, Francis. Okay, and it says they said Duvalier. They have this in French pronunciation. That's what they will say, or Duvalier, or like his real name. Most Haitians will say that. You'll hear them say that. So most people ain't gonna get into that. Okay, he was born. Okay, he was born what year was he born? He was born April 1907, April 14th, 1907. He was oh damn. Oh, he was an Aries, no wonder. It was crazy. He died on the 27th, 1971. He died in 71. My fault. I thought most people saw 86. Excuse me. He did die in 71. Okay, so he died in 71, not 86. Some people wrote 86 in that comment section. Pay attention to the comment section of that documentary. Someone said 86. Oh, he died in 71. Okay, excuse me. My apologies, y'all. Yeah, so he did die in 71. That makes sense. So he lived to be 64 years old. All the diseases that came upon him. And I see why he didn't last. Son took his place. Succeeded by Joseph, public health. Yeah. So his rule started from, he's born in April 1907, but then he died on the 21st of April. He died in the Taurus season. Interesting, 1971. Not surprised he got what he got. Also known as Papa Doc, was a Haitian politician of the French Martiguan descent, Martiguan descent, who served as the president of Haiti from 1957 to 1971. So from 57, but he lost in the beginning, but that's when he came into power in the 50s to 71. He was elected president in 1957 general election on the populist and the black nationalist platform. That was in the beginning what he was on. But after that, on the second term, he went crazy. After thwarting the military coup d'etat in 1958, his regime rapidly became more autocratic. Yeah, he had an autocratic government. He was a dictator, but it was autocratic. And this psyoptic and undercover government death squad. He had an undercover government death squad called the Tantu Makut. That's who I was talking about. Tantu Makut. They're a group of prisoners. If you see the documentary, they're a group of thugs that he hired for his protection. Because the first term he had problems. So let me show y'all something. Let's go on Mike V. Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna read it all to you. Cause dude, like when I saw that documentary, man, like it broke down who he was, and especially Mussolini. And I talk about this a lot about dictatorships and people's ideologies. His is different, it's similar, but he just strong on. But so he did, and they showed you him in the U.S. for money, his enemies. They let him free, but Kennedy tried to stop him, but that backfired. And he did not kill Kennedy. A lot of people ask me in the documentary, probably say he didn't kill Kennedy. They just saying that. No, nobody believed that. We know who killed him. Wasn't on mafia, I'll tell you that. And even certain people in the documentary said the mafia didn't do it. They try to blame that on I'll tell you who they try to blame on the mafia. His name was Carlos Marcello. Carlos Marcello, I think I seen him twice in the documentary, but he did live up to be 83 until his death. He died of natural causes. And that right there, they try to blame him for the hit. And they labeled it as conspiracy because Kennedy was in some higher power people that did not like what he said, and they assassinated him. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I ain't gonna go in depth on here because I already know who killed him. The people he represented, and Kennedy was overreached. And the Kennedys, that's a whole nother story. I'll deal with them on a vlog stream or something, how I feel about that. But this guy is very important in history because I don't think the U.S. backed him or anything. Yeah, they gave him support at the end, and when Kennedy broke that up, he was against that. And after when Kennedy's death came, he stayed in power for a long time until 71, his passing, I believe. But that's a whole nother story on him. This dude was very ruthless, but Haiti has always had problems because of this guy, and especially his son was something else too. But his legacy is what it is. But he did practice voodoo. I do know that. I found that out in the documentary. I did not know that. There's certain things I knew about him, but I didn't know he was into that. But that's Haiti. They said everybody's 30%. They said something else. I think they're 70-something% Catholic or something. They said this in the documentary, and they said the majority of Haitians believe in voodoo is 100%. Like there's their religions and shit. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But Haiti's one of them countries known for that. So their traditions, you could say West African or whatever, Eastern and all that. But they into idols, from my perspective, because I subscribe to the Israelite, faith and, the true way of life, but they was practicing idolatry. But, Haitians, they always have issues. Feel sorry for the civilians, though, back in those days. But now you look at it what it is. The son of Duval, Duvalier, or some people say Duvalier or something like that. His dad's name is Duval, okay. And a baker, Ursula Abraham. His aunt, Madame, raised him. Yeah. Madame Florster raised him. Okay. That's deep. Completed a degree in medicine from the University of Haiti in 1934 and served the staff physician in several. They mentioned that in the documentary as well. Local hospitals. He spent a year in the university at the University of Michigan studying public health. And in 1943, he became active United States sponsor campaign to control spread of contagious tropical diseases, helping the poor to fight typhus, yaws, malaria, and other tropical diseases that had ravaged Haiti for years. His patients affectionately called him Papa Doc because he was a doctor. That's why they called him that. The moniker that he used throughout his life. The racism and violence occurred during the United States occupation of Haiti, which began in 1915. They talk about that in the documentary as well. Inspired black nationalism among Haitians and left power impression on the young Duvalier, or most people say Duvalier. He was also aware of the latent political power in the poor black majority, and their resentment against the small mulatto, black and white mixed race elite, Duvalier or Duvalier, most people would pronounce him, but supported Pan African ideals, but became involved in the integrated, I would say, integritude movement of the Haitian Authority, John Price Mars, both of which led to his advocacy of Haitian voodoo or voodoo. It's actually Haitian voodoo, in the ethnical study of which later paid enormously political dividends for him. In 1938, Duvalier co-founded the journal or Les Grots on 27 December 1939. He married a Simeon, his wife Simona or something like that. Yeah, Ovid, with who he had 4 children: Marie, Denise, Nicole, Simeon, and John Claude. Yeah, John Claude. I mean, okay. And they talk about his political race. They talk about all this too in the documentary as well. 1946, Duvalier aligned himself with the president Dumarcius Amiste and was appointed director of the General of the National Public Health Service. In 1949, he served as Minister of Health and Labor. When he the 1950 coup d'etat, he left the government and resumed practicing medicine. His practice, including taking part in campaigns to prevent yaws and other diseases. In 1954, he abandoned the medicine and hiding out in Haiti's countryside from the Magla Glory regime. Yeah, the Magla, they talk about this too in the document. Magla Glory regime in 1956. Magla Glory government was failing, and although still in hiding, announced his candidacy to replace him as president. By December 1956, and an amnesty issued, and Duvalier or Duvalier, how y'all want to pronounce it, emerged from hiding. On December 12, 1956, Malagori conceded defeat. The 2 front runners in the 1957 campaign for the presidency were Duvalier or Louis Dujas, or something like that. Like, I'll say Louis, a landowner and industrialist from the north. During their campaigning, Haiti was ruled by 5 temporary temporary administrations, but none being governed by the few mulatto elite, which is how he described his opponent. And they said Francis Duvalier or Duvalier, most people would pronounce him like that, was elected president on the September 22nd, 1957. And they'll say this in the documentary too. He said that's his lucky number. Talk about the 22nd, and then he got lucky in October as his what you would call it in the 50s. That's his lucky number. He got inaugurated in October, but that's in the 50s. But the second half, the same thing, and then they try to say he had something to do with Kennedy, but we ain't gonna get into that. They mentioned that in the documentary, but we know that's proven false. No, Kennedy was killed by people that he went against in the system. So Kennedy went against the system. He didn't care about the mob. He didn't care less. He was trying to get them off too, to slow down the people up top. They didn't like that. Mafia men wasn't even a threat. They were just a nuisance until it became a full threat in the 60s, thanks to the guy that should have got killed by what's his name? What's the guy? His name was Vito Genovese family. Vito Genovese. He fucked up, and the guy that he kissed on the cheek, exposed what La Cosa Nostra was and broke and destroyed the mafia family. I forget his name. His name escapes me, but he's the downfall of what the mafia was now. The legacy of Luciano, uh, what's his name? Is it Castillo? I forget the other guy's name. Damn, they call him the prime minister of the mob or some shit. I saw that documentary too, and it's sad, but what caused it was the Genovese guy. He had them all in the meeting place, and then the guy that he didn't kill cost him they wait. But and then I saw the Lucchese film. But I'm getting off topic. I'm trying to stick with Papa Doc right here. But yeah, but they talk about all this in a documentary on certain documentaries. Ain't that much. Everybody's got a different perspective how they look at it, But shouts out to the people in Haiti surviving this shit because this dude was brutal. Second term, but and then consolidating power his presidency, we already know. I ain't gonna get into the formalities, but this dude right here is something else. I told you he had a significant rule. They say he's like the president for life, and you can hear this in documentary form, and it's pretty much it. And it's just like I see this a lot, and then you be like, okay, this dude's right here. Let's go. Let's stop the sharing. But yeah, basically, I just looking at his stuff right here. I have it up here in case y'all was on look because I got more information and things like that. But yeah, he's very intriguing with that documentary because I saw it. But if y'all watch it for an hour, you know what I'm talking about. This dude basically has the power in his hands to control people with that Voodoo shit. So the Haitian Voodoo was, they believe in that stuff. Yeah, man. And that's just what it was. I mean, you see it all the way through and through. But yeah, man, he was very brutal. But Haiti was fucked up since its beginning, so it's gonna be a while for Haiti come back. And they talked about the revolution. They talked about that in the beginning before they talked about him. Haiti had its dark history. And this dude, Papa Dot, man, he wasn't no joke. When I first heard of him was in high school. I didn't start really getting into him was probably when I got older in my 20s and studied Haiti a little bit. Haiti has a interesting history of violence of what they've done politically and things like that. But Haiti's been a mess for years. So, Haiti's been through it all. But that's Haiti. I'm not dissing Haiti because I would love to visit for myself, but it is a dangerous island. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, they said it done got better when Duvalier or Duvalier, where most people pronounce him. The ones that call him Duvalier, and that's cool, but some people pronounce it Duvalier or whatever. But I just say Papa Doc. I try not to pronounce his name because some people pronounce it different because, people have different ways of saying it in French. I ain't gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna debate nobody on that. That's basically what I'm gonna say on that. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I just call him Papa Doc. But Papa Doc wasn't no joke. But that's the nickname. He got it. Yeah. And it's just what it was. And that's just what it was. He realized that the first go around when I saw that documentary, they talked about his first attempt to try to rule. People was trying to take him out then. Wasn't easy. The Tongo group that he created, they came from the penitentiary in prison. So he was ruthless. And they mentioned Dessalines died in Haiti because people killed him after 2 to 3 years. Some people say they didn't believe that. They say he died in France. I don't believe he died in France. I believe he died in Haiti because if he ruled it like they say they did, Haiti has a rich history of rulership. I don't know what people saying and all that. I don't get into that. I may do probably some research and some upload on that about him and break him down, so to speak. But that's just what it is. But Haiti's always been have its political problems for years and violence for years. I mean, it's a peaceful country, but it can be very dangerous. So, and people still coming to America, but Haiti always had problems. Most people feel sorry for Haiti anyway. Yeah, yeah, my fault. And I was gonna block that out. I'm gonna knock this down for a minute. I'm gonna knock this down for a minute. Yeah, because I want to knock that. Yeah, because I don't want to interfere. I gotta put some dudes up here. Hope I don't get hit. That's just a little snippet of the advertisement. She said, I'll be live 15 minutes. I mean, Melly needs to sit her ass down. Four fall bills. Ain't gonna win no damn Super Bowl. Four fall bills. Nigga getting triggered. Break down on Balenciaga. Who cares about fuck Balenciagas? We lost a legendary Patrice O'Neal. Yeah, he was good, but he died. He died when I was 23 years old. So November 29th, 2011. Yeah, Patrice O'Neal. Yeah, he passed away in 2011. So 2011. I was 23 at the time. This is why I was already awoken in and know who I was historically. I changed my life. I was in my 20s then. This dude is done. Patrice O'Neal. But I remember Patrice a little bit. He is funny. He is hilarious. I didn't get into him at the time. I was in the Chappelle phase. I've always been with the Chappelle and other guys. I like Bernie Mac and all that. But this guy died right after Bernie Mac. He was talking about all that bad stuff, and Patrice lived what he said. You know, people hang on every word. Giannis the Magnificent. Shouts out to Two Raw for TV. He mentioned that. Okay. 1976 actor Chad and Broad Bozeman. Yeah, he had his birthday was on the 29th of November. So if he was alive, yeah, he was born in South Carolina. But rest in peace, or in the name of Yah, rest in peace, this brother right here. He tried to give us the truth as well. The Gawk 3000 edition. This girl's cross-eyed. What's her name? Monica or something. Let's say right here. Is it Monica Mulatto or something like that? But she's cross-eyed. She's I look straight to the camera, girl. You cross-eyed. That girl's cross-eyed. I don't care what nobody say. She says she looking dead at you. No, girl, you cross-eyed. Stop. That's why no one likes you. You thick, but you cross-eyed. But shouts out to the Devon Wave network. Yeah, they have a funny podcast. They talk about everything. They always talking in the morning. That gawk. I ain't gonna get into that. Hall of Famer Gaylord Perry dies at 84. I just heard about that on the Yahoo Sports. He's a Hall of Fame pitcher. They said Gaylord Perry dies. And y'all know him? The Liver King exposed as a fake natty. Duke the Don's got that string around 935. Yes, subprimal. I've become subprimal. Oh, who cares? Shout, yeah. Yeah, everybody's getting ready, man. It is what it is. Ain't that much. He talking all this crazy stuff, but hey, what's going on, Degenerate? Salute, salute. Yeah, man, but Papa Doc has been he like in that documentary, they really did a good job doing a research in Haiti. Haiti's been a mess. What's going on, Tampa? Salute, salute. Appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of reason why I don't join. It's a bunch of bullshit. You got a lot of emotional ass people talking about the same old shit. I don't even participate anymore because I don't want to air out no niggas on the internet, because they so fake on here. It ain't even funny. I'll explain what it is, why I don't do them. I ain't gonna do it tonight, but I'll explain it on a vlog stream, like a future stream. I'll do have some space or whatever. But them people like be on panels all day. They just looking for attention. I ain't got time to argue with no weak motherfuckers on the internet. Waste my time. But it is what it is. Because I'm using a different software. They want to act crazy. I ain't got time for that. That's why I went straight pre-record. But I don't have a problem hosting one. But these dudes, yeah, it's a whole nother. I'll break that down why I said why I stopped doing them. When people stop fucking, I stop fucking with them. So it's that simple. They get on my nerves with that bullshit. I'm gonna diss the so-called manosphere that they're in. I call them bitch ass niggas. That's the majority of you niggas. I'm gonna flame y'all on a vlog stream. I gotta show my face for this one. This one I cannot, because I'm talking about different things. But the bitch assness I see on the internet, I just can't fuck with it. The fake shit. I got certain screenshots how fake certain individuals are. I can explain without even showing screenshots how fake this. I show one screenshot and explain what really happened, and that's it. But you niggas ain't got no business like that. Shouts out to Gully TV. He said, y'all ain't got no business. Y'all ain't got no trade. Y'all ain't got none of that. He's the one with the business. He don't even brag you to. YouTube's just a video uploading site just for content. But if you have a business, you gotta get away from YouTube for that shit. Y'all come here for the wrong reasons. But if y'all do it for money, you just want to be entertained for money. No one gives a shit about that. Everybody's doing that. Nobody's feeling that shit. That's why I respect Gully, how he moves on Instagram. He gets his shit. He already got his stuff ordered on Amazon and all that. He's doing what he's supposed to do if you into that stuff, especially the lifestyle he's into. But I want to shout him out because he brings good content no matter what. People fuck with him. He don't beg nobody. He don't ask for donations, and he gets a lot more people in the room than me. Salute to him. I said, man, I wish I had that. I have that presence be on camera. That's easy. Do that on the vlog stream. It's easy. So I can get people in the room. That ain't no issue. It's just doing this is a little difficult than everybody else. But I understand that people want to see me do the panel thing. Like, I don't do it no more because niggas are emotional. Talk about the same shit all the time and be on this PPT bullshit. Shots at the Absalon. He was killing these dudes. And these niggas ain't doing nothing but being hoes, man. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm just gonna start flame y'all niggas for real and throw shots, hard shots. And I'm gonna have to do a stream on that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this week. I may do it next week because I don't know. Because I'm gonna be on fire on that one. I gotta be on fire when that shit happens. Because I ain't gonna promise y'all a thing, but I'll drop a stream or something like that and explain my position on that. It's a lot of bitch assness I see on the internet. But shouts out to George Megan's call it out what it is. And you get tired of it. And I mean that. I'm not a part of no fucking spheres, because niggas is fake. I don't care if I piss everybody off, but I said what I said. I did it for 2 years and it got draining last year. This year I got tired of it, and I think I kind of stopped in the beginning of this year and then did my thing, and that's it. Cause I got receipts, but I don't need the receipts to expose you because you niggas is fake anyway in real life. So I already know. I ain't got time to argue with niggas that's so fake on the internet. Like I ain't that ain't me. Cause y'all ain't about that life either. I look at y'all and y'all talk this shit, but y'all hoes in real life. I'm sorry. It's just what it is. The certain individuals that I have issues with, they hoes in real life. They don't stand for shit. And that's my issue with niggas like that. You know, it's a lot of fake motherfuckers offline and online. It's just what it is. And they show their hand all the time. Y'all dudes wouldn't even last in a day in my shoes or live the lifestyle I live like I used to live back in the day. Niggas wouldn't even last, especially on this internet shit. I understand the internet game. I understand the politics. But it's a lot of fake motherfuckers talk about business. They ain't even about it. I don't even argue with them no more. They're useless fucks to me and narcissistic as fuck. And this is why I don't fuck with a lot of people. But it's competition. But when I saw Hardcore Tito dissing RSB, he has a point. But RSB is gonna be RSB, but Hardcore Tito is gonna be who he is. I mean, he's a clown and he's a statutory I'll say, you know, most people use R word. I won't say vapist. I ain't gonna say, you know, rapist, but you know, but I said it, but fuck him. He's a child molester, man. And she was young, she was white, and he got caught up. But nobody takes it. And the only people that listen to him, they just like the bullshit what he be saying. But the average person will not listen to that bullshit content he does. Now he is slightly entertainment, but he's full of shit at the same time. Nobody listen to that bullshit. I don't listen to shit. I know you don't listen to my shit, and that's cool, and I respect that. He don't have to like me. I don't have to like him, but I understand what he said about other people. Now I'm surprised RSB don't even respond to oh boy. And it's very interesting. I don't know who done pissed off RSB or why they pissed at him so much. He ain't did nothing. He's just in the middle. He say he's from the skeptic community. I ain't got no issue. He's got good content, but it is what it is. Yeah, he's a hoe. Mal Mannerfuck is a hoe, aka not so angry man. I don't fuck with that nigga. That nigga's a clown to me. Yeah, he responds in the comments. Yeah, Tito does respond in the comments. I found that very interesting. Now he does engage. I give him that. That's it. But outside of that, ain't nobody watching this shit. He's I'm knowledgeable, nigga. You're a child molester. That's what the fuck you is. Oh, no. And he killed me saying did he say he's Jamaican? A typical stupid ass Jamaican, right? You high over the white man's court system. What the fuck you people do over here? Same goddamn thing. Stop it. I hate my brethren from the Caribbean, especially in the South, especially in the East Coast. Stop with this white man bullshit. Y'all suck his dick every day. Y'all suck Esau's dick every day and kill me believing his bullshit. Cut it out, man. Cut it the fuck out. Because a lot of you niggas, y'all ain't shit in real life. That's why I don't like airing you niggas out with screenshots because it's useless. Because you niggas are so narcissistic and stupid. That's why these bitches is laughing at y'all. Failed marriages, ain't doing shit, talking bad about everybody else. But what about you, motherfucker? Y'all some hoe ass niggas in real life. And I say this, I say it again. This is why YouTube has always been trash since I came back. Before it was you can get views from the wazoo. You can't get views now. A lot of trash content and misinformation and bitch ass motherfuckers controlled by these people that runs the planet. Them goddamn Jesuits / EWs, them Jews or whatever. So-called, no such thing as a Jew, but Edomites. They're all Edomites to me. Fucking y'all heads up. That's why we'll never go anywhere. As long as y'all ain't caught up to idolatry, we're still gonna be trapped in this shit. Kyrie didn't prove that. He stood tall. It just wasn't enough, and he realized he ain't got no protection like that. You by yourself. I've been doing this for 10 years. If I told Kyrie, you're on your own, man. These niggas don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about them because they're gonna perish the way they going with those idols. Can't talk to the average dummy. I had to talk to somebody that ain't dumb. Teach them the ropes. This shit is bad, man. You can't just come around here and talk all this bullshit. Talk about hoes all day. That shit gets annoying after a while. I understand. Y'all got woman problems, but that shit needs to stop. I agree with Tito on that. It's stupid. He even says it's stupid. I just got to be careful because niggas is fake on here, man. I learned that lesson the hard way. I had to shut a certain website off and I thought it was okay, but it wasn't okay because everybody was on the take. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is stupid, man. Never trust weak motherfuckers on this shit. And I never will again. And this only takes one time. You fuck around and not have my back, I'd cut you off like a plague, man. I'm gonna do y'all dirty. It is what it is. I'm gonna treat y'all like shit. Like dog shit. But this is Thursday Thrills. I say what the fuck I'm going to say. It's a lot of reasons. Call him, he support the white man, this shit. Tito's a clown, though. I can't never take a dude seriously talking about bullshit like that. I get why people like him, but that dude ain't hardcore. He's a fucking clown. It's a child molester. I would never take him seriously. He's a child molester. Ain't nobody listen to that bullshit. He talking about the white man's cause. What the fuck you doing knowing they lost too, you bitch ass nigga? You're the same. You're the same. But that's just what I've been saying. These hypocritical ass niggas that's so light skinned and mild mannered, fuck, aka a no, not so angry man, little bitch, little fucked up 5 size head, like a fucking nail. Got a nail ass head. You can hammer that head. He ain't got no head at all. Like a fucking a motorcycle person or a fucking gnome, silly ass gnome, like a fucking cretin. He looked like one of those creatures I see on Mad Max that you kick around and knock the shit loose. What's one of those creatures' names? Hold on, I got some. I gotta find it in the bio. Hold on, because this shit is ridiculous. He don't look like the roadkill enemies. No, he don't look like roadkill. Let's see Buzzard. No, he don't look like them. Let's go to Scrotus enemies. Okay, he looks like one of those creatures, the feral dog. That's what he looked like. His body shaped like a feral dog and looks like a goddamn gnome in the face. That's mild manner fuck, aka Anger Man, the fuck nigga, man. That's who y'all support. Y'all support bitch ass niggas like that. That's about to get his head knocked off in the future. Niggas like that would be in the ground, bro. He wouldn't last where I come from. They'll be in the cemetery in the casket, bro. Talking all that bullshit about dudes, man. Dude, you get your head blown away, bro. Stop it. I ain't saying I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say fuck him and any nigga to support him. Y'all be in the casket where I come from. Y'all wouldn't even live to tell it. See, I don't talk all that gangster shit. Y'all niggas is fake gangsters. Me. Y'all pussy. Y'all been pussy since birth. I said what the fuck I'm gonna say, and y'all ain't gonna do shit. I said to get off my dick off that. Choke on that one, niggas. But that's what you niggas do. Y'all, I mean, y'all bitch about females 95% of your content, and nobody's not gonna listen to y'all's bullshit. I get it. Yeah, they got issues, but it's not gonna help us as a collective, as men. That shit is corny as fuck, man. Beefing somebody online, but see, I don't beef with bitch ass niggas that ain't really about it. I don't give them no energy like that. They're fuck niggas, man. And I will throw shots. That's what I do. I ain't beefing with no lame niggas on this internet. If I see you in person, your ass will be laid out, man. Casket games is real down here. You say the wrong shit to the person, you'll be in the casket real fast here than up there where you from. Fuck what you from, niggas. Where you at? Because you got a lot of fake New York niggas that I can't stand on the internet. A lot of y'all need to be in the casket. Period. I'm saying it right now. A lot of you niggas need to be in the casket. I said it. Fuck everybody else. This is Sir Evergreen Emerald Kingdom, bitch. Fuck is y'all talking about? Y'all know who y'all fucking with, man, because I don't play that bullshit. I teach righteousness over here every now and then. I drop a little science and jewels and things, but you niggas is fake, bro. All this fake shit on the internet, I get tired of seeing that shit, man. I know some stories about you niggas. You niggas is fake. Y'all ain't living that lifestyle. And when y'all get exposed, y'all want to cry to mama or some hoe and somebody on it. Get the fuck out of here, bro. A lot of you niggas is fake. The three main niggas I can't stand that got me blocked, but you know, they hoes. I expose them. So I don't care. They can keep me blocked. I got one nigga blocked that's annoying. He acts like a little girl. Got two little girls, but can't raise them. Bitching about the same females every day. His dirty, stinking self. Trying to say I ain't got no beard. Nigga, your beard's ugly and you dirty and you stink, nigga. Go take a fucking bath. Clean your fucking house, you bitch ass nigga. You fake New York nigga accent. Nigga, you from Nebraska. They said it in DS1's fucking live stream in the chat room. Bitch ass nigga. That's a fun fact, by the way. He ain't from Rochester. He's still a hoe ass nigga crying about his mama. Get the fuck out of here. Little bitch. Bitch niggas like him, man. Like, them niggas need to be in the casket, man. They belong in the casket. I don't listen to fuck niggas that ain't got no life. Like, y'all damn near 50 to 60 years old on the internet acting like little bitches, man. I way more mature than these hoe ass niggas, man. Ain't got time for that bullshit. I had people on panels. I had females on panels, and shouts out to them that support it. Salute to them. It's just you got a lot of fuck niggas that I don't be on panels with and argue with all day. I ain't got time for that. If you ain't gonna have a conversation, get the fuck off the panel. Nobody likes y'all's bitch asses on the internet. Nobody. Not these trash can hoes making weak ass content talking shit. Fuck them too. I said it. Yeah, I took some wrenches. You have an issue with it, get the fuck off my channel. It's that simple. I ain't got time for that bullshit. I ain't trying to beef with nobody on here because y'all niggas ain't shit. I don't give wrenches back either. That's my policy. Just don't do me dirty. You know, I let y'all say what the fuck y'all want to say, but don't say it around over here. You'll be gone. You'll be gone. I don't play that shit, man. Like, the panel shit's cool if it's cordial, but if it's on some nigga shit, I ain't got time to argue with y'all. Y'all waste the hot air. Y'all ain't got nothing going. And they ain't gonna do shit about it. I do the real shit. I don't do the back and forth. I ain't got time for that. Last time I entertainment sports arguments and debates, it was with old boy. I call him Kudam. You know what I mean? I know he don't mention my name, but I call him Kudam. But these niggas is clowns, bro. Like, this clown shit that I'm so tired of. It's sad, but it's true. But shouts out to Tampa Aspen Day. Yeah, I won't do a live stream flaming these niggas. These niggas are so fake, man. Like, I listen to their bullshit all the time, and I don't be in their streams like that. But these niggas are so fake. Like, the majority of them, man. Like, all these niggas is fake. They talk all this shit, but they ain't about shit. When guys got more subscribers, you got like 12,000 more. These niggas fold, man. And shouts out to Alvin Preach. They entertain me as comedians. That's all they are. They just have political satire and people, and I analyze the stuff they be doing, and that's it. They having fun. But the main topic of the night that I came with that documentary, the reason I watched the Mussolini and the Papa Doc documentary, and I put it in the chat. That's very intriguing. It gave me a lot of information about Mussolini, how violent he was as a child. Papa Doc being a doctor a little bit, but it was a short stint. And then before his rule, yeah, he was something else. But that second rule, the same people, I believe it's the Tongan. I don't want to pronounce this wrong. It's the excuse me. The Tonton Makut or something like that. That group they mentioned in the documentary, man, these guys is brutal. Like, let's go back. Let's go back up. What's going on? What's going on? Information man. Salute, salute. Let's going on for a minute. Okay, if y'all save this for later, that documentary is something else, man. Like, and then they talked about Dessalines. They talked about the beginning of Haiti. Yeah, Tonta Muku. Shouts out to Wacky. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. See, he Haitian. He'll tell you. He'll tell you. But that's what it is. When I saw that documentary, man, like, let me see that again. Let me find that documentary. Y'all check that channel out. It's called Criminals and Crime Fighters. And type up Evolution of Evil, the story of Papa Doc and Benito Mussolini. Now, I talk about Mussolini a lot on fascism. I might do a piece on him in the future. We're going to talk about these dictators and guys that rule the planet. Oh, excuse me. Tone Makut. Okay. Excuse me for that. Yeah. Appreciate it, Wacky. But then, what was it? What was it? The first time he recruited those guys, they came from the penitentiary and the prison. They said this in the documentary, and I saw that documentary how he recruited with the shades. Then the second time they got ruthless when he won again. And that shit was wild, you know. And then when I saw that, I see why he was ruthless the second time. But the first time, it was something else. And then they had shades because the first time he had another group. They didn't protect him. His first term, they tried to kill him. But he ended up defeating them. But the second go around, he had to go to the penitentiary to recruit some extra killers. But he did it. And then the rest was history. But he did die from those complications. You know, he didn't live that long. He lived to be 64. They don't say much about him after he died. They just talk about the ruthlessness he did. That's it. It's not pretty much. I mean, the way he went, he did practice voodoo out of all the other religions. I mean, he actually was into that stuff. His death in succession, yeah, is heart disease, and they try to say diabetes, but it was congestive heart failure. That's what he died of, really. But he had a coma incident back in, I believe, in the 50s, and I believe he passed out or something like that, and it triggered he had a short lifespan. His 19-year-old son, John Claude, you know, Baby Doc, succeeded him as president. Now, they mention him at the tail end of the documentary. The desecration of the tomb in February 6th. Okay, that's what they were saying. 1986, when the regime fell, the crowd attacked the mausoleum of Papa Doc. Oh, wow. Oh, they talking about the tomb. Okay, that's what they're saying. Excuse me, y'all, because he did die in 71, but they did attack his tomb in 86. Interesting, in February. Interesting. Yeah, but that documentary, if y'all see it with him and Mussolini, he's on the second half of that documentary with Mussolini, and y'all need to check that out. They got some good details on dude. Yeah, he did. He did. He did. They said that in the documentary. He did. He did. He did. And this is facts. He did. And it was like a martial art, but that was his. I think he said, and then in the documentary on the tail end, they said he was president for life. That shit was wild, man. But yeah, it kind of fucked Haiti up a little bit. I'm not gonna say it fucked up a whole lot, but those years he did, I give him that. I'm surprised U.S. didn't even kill his ass. There's so much going on in those eras, racism and all that. That's complicated. I might have to do a piece on him real soon. I had a relative who was a politician during Papa Doc's regime, but this family member told me that he watched Papa Doc tortured and kill people. Yeah, he did. They talked about that in the documentary. In this documentary I posted earlier, he had two guys. They was from New York. They was Haitians, right? And they was trying to do like Fidel Castro and Che Guevara. They was trying to do that, but the documentary said the terrain was different in Haiti. You couldn't do what they did over in other countries, like in those islands like Cuba and everything else. You couldn't do it like that. No, they eventually it was 13 of them. They got killed, but the two that got killed, it was on public television. Shot them with the rifles and shit, and they died. And the guy said it in a documentary, and he saw that, and it never erased out of his mind. And till this day, it never escaped his mind. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But it is what it was. I mean, yeah, Wacky said it was martial law, and that's what they was basically saying in this documentary. Y'all need to check that documentary out because it talks about Mussolini and fascism in the beginning. But if you want to skip past it, go straight to Pop Doc halfway. They talk about let me see. I didn't copy the link, right? Okay. Let me see something. This is usually be yeah, I'm gonna put this in the chat. Okay. But yeah, when I saw that documentary, man, it's pretty much he's ruthless, man. That dude's very, very ruthless. And I didn't really underestimate him, but this dude was something else, man. He had a group of the first half of his military, his regime. They wasn't cutting it because he got attacked in office. They said that in the documentary. I said, damn. Well, see, that was in good detail. But then he recruit those people, the Makut guys. They was ruthless too. But in the second term, they were way more ruthless. They looked like they had the military clothes later on, and he had to pay for guns. The first half, he had to go to the U.S. to get the guns and everything, but that didn't work out as well until Kennedy kind of stopped the funding. It funded them a little bit in the 50s and I believe early 60s, but when Kennedy got into power in 61, it was ceased until his death. That was it. He was in rule for like most of the 60s, most of the 50s and 60s. He died in the early 70s when integration and assimilation came into America. After that, you never heard from him again, but you actually had to do research on him. But the coup was very serious. But it is what it was, man. Like, this dude was not playing, man. He was not playing. He was not playing. But that's just what it was. But yeah, I saw that today and I thought that documentary was very intriguing. Very, very intriguing because it actually taught me a lot about Mussolini, more about his childhood, Papa Doc's childhood, him being a doctor. He was in that nationalism for a stint. And then he went mad. Ever since he had that coma, that's when he went downhill, went crazy. Yeah, he was no joke. Yeah, he tortured people with that voodoo shit. A lot of people say voodoo, but it's voodoo. They would say in Haiti because I know Wacky knows, but voodoo is a serious thing. You better not say nothing about voodoo because when he was around, he didn't believe in it. They say he didn't believe. He didn't. He just used it for control. But it was power. It's some powerful shit. But you got people who don't believe in it, and some people do. I'm not gonna say people that don't believe. They believe in idolatry. They get caught up in the idols and shit. But that's a whole nother topic on that. I'm not gonna get into that. But a lot of people just get caught up on some other shit. That is what it is. I'm gonna step away real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna step away real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, I had to check on something. I think my sink is fucked up, but that's okay. I ain't worried about it. I'll fix that shit tomorrow. But anyways, but yeah, that documentary, it was so intriguing. Like it showed me a lot. I've seen a lot of documentaries that were intriguing. I had to see again just for reference what I'm saying and what I'm showing people and ideologies and things like that. And come to find out, I learned something about the mob too. They start out in New Orleans. Most Sicilians came to New Orleans first before they went to Ellis Island. And the second time I saw that mob guy that ruled it, his name was Carlos Marcello. Now they have a video game called Mafia 3. I've played that thing multiple times, but the character Sal Marcano is based off him. The opposite of that, the other guy, Carlos Marcello, he was a illegal immigrant, went to New Orleans and things like that, because they have like a Catholic and of course Judaism tradition down there in certain parts of New Orleans and other places. But Marcello, he ruled that thing like ain't nothing. He was for the people, they say. Yeah, they had gambling and everything. They was okay with that, the drinking and all that shit. Quiet as kept. He lived to be 83 and died from natural causes. He did went to prison twice. The second time he went to prison, he did a long stint. He was trying to stay out of prison, and he didn't really last that long in the rule because it was in the decline. There was nobody to replace him after that. After that, New Orleans went crazy. After his death, he died in later years when the world was changing and shit like that. Now, certain mob guys, they live to be 80. He's one of them. And then the second one, there's a guy named Michael Francis, the son of Sonny Francis. Sonny was popular in those five families with the Genovese family. They part of that connection. And then you also have the Colombo family. The Colombo family is where he represented as a Don or whatever, right? But this guy and that family and Little Chin and all those guys, it was part of that five family shit. But Vito Genovese fucked them up. I told you in the beginning of the stream, cost them the code of silence. And then the snitch or whatever his name, he kissed on the cheek in prison. I forget his name. He exposed that. The La Costa Nostra. And then that's how Sammy and all them motherfuckers didn't give a fuck. They said, fuck it. He did it. I'm gonna do it. That's why it's dead. The Sicilians still believe that over in Sicily to this day, but not in America. That's dead, because the feds was all over the shit. And that RICO thing was designed for them, but that changed since they put it on the street gangs, and it's kind of a laughing stock right now. But yeah, the mob had a lot of power. There's another documentary y'all need to see is the Lucchese family. That dude had three fingers. His name was Tommy Lucchese. He died at 69. He didn't live to be old. He died young in his late 60s, going to be older. But the one that lived to be 103, that was Sonny Francis. Y'all can look up Michael Francis. He's the son of Sonny. And Sonny hid his life. He lived at the code of silence, they call it Omerta in the Italian language, but that stayed Sicilian code. But most mafia, they broke it all the time. They broke all that shit. It was very hypocritical. You can tell by documentaries they've been exposed. People's been on protection and all that stuff. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of documentaries talking about the history. And then Michael Francis broke down. He's very accurate. He said they started Louisiana, New York, and Illinois. Most of the Italians migrated upward in the middle. Makes sense. And then there's Vegas. They couldn't do Texas and Georgia. I don't know why. They did Florida though. They went back to the water. So basically they went for Louisiana, Midwest, West Coast Pacific, right back down to the Southeast. Some to the South, deeper in the waters of Louisiana. So we went right back to the water. So that makes sense. So they have a state. Now, do we have Italians here in Georgia? Absolutely. Do we have mafia men? Not many. No, I know of. No. Now, probably in restaurants, but not a specific family. But no, if they're from one of those families, they probably hiding down here on the low. Probably something out of those families. I think some of them families, they do exist. I don't know if the Colombo families exist. It's probably remnants of them, but they cease to exist because when I stopped hearing about them, I think it was during the '08 crash and things like that. Outside of that, you never heard from the rest of this era of the 21st century. So they've been limited in years. That's why you see Michael Francis doing documentaries, interviewing these guys. He's got a good channel. You can just look him up. He breaks it down. Timeline? Okay. Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, Timeline's pretty good. Timeline's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff, but I just found out what Francis was talking about his dad in the mob. Interesting shit. They said Timeline documentary series. Okay. Ancient Rome, Rise and Fall. What else? Britain. I just looked it up. Oh, they got 1,000. Yeah. The hero of World War II that no one knows. Churchill's secret son. Okay. 3 ancient mysteries of legendary cities. Yeah, they got a lot of good stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of good channels that have that. But specifically, specifically when I talk about Sonny Francis, the father of Michael Francis that's on YouTube right now, he talked about his father Sonny. Not everybody knew Sonny like that, but he was well respected. And that's the only reason. And when you talk about the Colombo family, I've heard of them and saw a couple of documentaries like 3 years ago. And then I watched it again. I said, this is pretty accurate. Yeah, New York was a whole nother level. And then I saw recently Wayne Perry. Shouts to the Gully TV for that. But Wayne Perry's got a Muslim name now. He did own up his killings, though. He didn't like when Alpo snitched on him, but Alpo got what he got. New York people got tired of him. He got pot. He got what he deserved. Now, I did see a documentary about Alpo. Someone broke it down, and they said the reason why he was killed. Now he was just who he was, and he got what he got. That's all I'm going to say about it. He's a drug dealer. I don't look at him as a gangster. He's a drug dealer. He got what he got. So. No, it's actually Sicilian. It's not American mob. It's Sicilian. That's Sicilian culture. They create that. Michael Francis tell you that because his people's half Sicilian. They can tell you about Sicilian culture. Always dominated the mob. They still rule it. Italians are secondary. They're like it's different types. I can go into the Neapolitans and all that. It's a whole nother stream I can do on that. Legit bitterments and labor unions. Facts. You just said it. Yeah, you said this on a panel once. John Gotti, he came from the Gambino family. He's allied with the Colombo family, though. He came from the Gambino family. He's cool with the guy, Sammy the Bull, the Gravano, the snitch, the rat, they would say. He's cool with him, though. But John Gotti came from the Gambino family. He was trying to take a rank for somebody's rank. He was trying to get rid of Vito Genovese. He killed Vito Genovese, not Vito Genovese. Paul Castellano or something like that. Yeah, Paul Castellano. Paul Castellano. I just recently saw that. Paul Castellano. Paul Castellano was killed by John Gotti and his crew. He didn't go to jail for that shit, though. I did see that. Yeah, John Gotti was something else, but John Gotti, he didn't last long. He was all flash and brash and stuff. Most Italians didn't really care for him like that. He's respected a little bit, but they didn't really care for him like that. Paul Castellano didn't like him either. So it is. Yeah, Gambino. Yeah, Gambino family. Yeah, you can look that up. Michael Francis would break it down. He was from there, and then Michael grew up with the Colombo family with his father, Sonny Francis. Now, his brother snitched on him because of the child. His brother wasn't a real mobster. His dad was trying to force him to be in the life, but he didn't choose that. Michael didn't either. He just followed his father's footsteps. John didn't. John Jr. didn't. I think he has HIV real bad, but he's not in no witness protection. He just don't go to those neighborhoods no more. So yeah. Facts, wacky facts. Yeah, Paul Castellano was well respected until he started doing people bad like Vito Genovese and them, and look what happened. John wanted his spot, and you know how that is. 5 families had a respectful with what's his name? Charles Lucky Luciano, aka Mr. Salvatore, the original. Him and them guys and Tommy Lucchese, them guys was willing and dealing. And you saw how they went out. and then the prime minister, I forget the guy's name. I think his name was Frank Castillo or something like that, But he's another Don or something like that, ruled the family, and he had to step down because Vito Genovese wanted his spot. So yeah, I saw that from documentaries and shit. Yeah, he was. Gotti was for an extent when he killed Paul Castellano, but after that, people want him gone after that because they'll flip on the heartbeat. Most of them Sicilians, they're weird like that. But yeah, most of the times was scared of him. I'm not gonna lie. The ones that he took out in his heyday, oh yeah. But after that, I've heard stories like certain times tell you he had that credibility took away from him later on, but he was respected. Wacky said, yeah, that man was I remember him. He was respected when I was coming up. He was very well respected. I don't know what happened to him. Ever since he went to that prison, he wasn't the same after that. They tried to take his head off. They respected and feared him. Yeah, he was crazy. Yeah. They like his flash. On highlight this. Hold on. I want y'all to read that. They said Italians in New York did not like Gotti's flashiness, but they respected him and feared Gotti. They did because he had the Gambinos behind his back. He had a lot of killers on his team. He may not be all that physically, but John got it done. He was just, and they called him the Teflon Don for a reason. But that's why they call him Teflon Don. It's a lot of reason why they call him that because he did what he did. Even Michael knew him. What's his name? Michael Francis, and John respected Sonny Francis because Sonny was crazy. You know what I'm saying? They respected each other. They didn't get in each other's way because they had balance. They had that type of respect. Colombo and Gambinos were like allies. They were boys. So anything happened to Sonny, John always stood up for him. It's just what it was. And then when John got hit in the can, and Sonny too, back in the day, and they still had respect. They had guys out there, and then the Chin guy that to say he played crazy, the two Chin, what's his name? Chin. I forget his name. Damn, it's a Italian guy. I'll look on the history thing, my logs, and find him. Two Chin, because I recently saw him a couple of days ago. Let me. His name escapes me already. What's his name? But his nickname was the Chin. Let me see. Paul Castellano. I just talked about him. Who else? He played crazy. I've seen his documentary about 2 or 3 times. Yeah, I saw the history of the Genovese and all that. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that with the Genovese family. Yeah, they talked about him. He ruled it for a step and took over, and he went by the old ways. But yeah, was gone. Was gone. UD was gone. Yeah, but they wasn't. There's just offshoots of the 5 families, but they was on the outside looking in. It's a lot of them. Even after Gotti, he said, even after Gotti killed Paul, he was respected. So I don't care where they got that from, but where I'm from isn't too far from Gotti's neighborhood. So I know about his history. Trust and believe he was respected. Yeah, he was. He was respected. But there's certain ones you gotta understand. Certain rivals will talk shit about Gotti because I ain't gonna talk shit. I just don't really care for him as much. I mean, it was nothing special about him. Yeah, he was respected, but my perspective of him was he lived how he lived his life. I mean, he was a typical enforcer. He was a capo regime. He was an underboss. He wanted that spot, and then he wanted to be a dom. When he killed Paul Castellano, Paul didn't like him for several reasons. One, he was too flashy. 2, he was a threat for his operation, and then the feds bugged Paul Castellano's House. You can see that documentary too on A&E. They tell you about Paul Castellano. I mean, they are a little biased on certain things, but but the way they tell about John Gotti, yeah, John Gotti was respected. Yeah, they call him Teflon and all this stuff, but most people didn't really care for Gotti like that. Like the average person don't really care. I mean, they cared about him when he did headlines and shit like that, but outside of that, that Gambino family was respected. He had great protection. That's why they call him Teflon. Yeah, he did the dirt on Paul. I give him that. That I'll give him and all this stuff. But I don't brag about his shit like he's crazy. There's other guys around him who are crazy too. His allies, like the Colombo family, like the Francis family, Sonny Francis. I haven't speak on him as much, but the channel I recommend y'all to see is Michael Francis. He'll tell you about his father way better than anybody else. And so I believe it, because he know them neighborhoods in Brooklyn like ain't nothing. But the way he exposed these video games like the mafia games, he said they never did all the fist fight. No, they just shot you in the arm and whatever. You had to pay up. And he knows the mafia is bad. He talks bad about the mafia. He's cool with Daryl Strawberry. I know that. Daryl Strawberry tell you about Michael Francis and Sonny. So a lot of people know those guys. They're well respected too. But people respect Gotti, but you got some people out there, haters. I ain't gonna say haters, but I'm gonna say people. They didn't care for Gotti. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But that's how they view John Gotti. Now, me, how I view John Gotti, he was a respected Five Families guy. He was a made guy. He was a Don, and they gave him praise. That's all I remember when I was a lot younger. I don't remember much in his early days in the 80s because I wasn't alive at that time. I heard about him in the 21st century, what he used to do in the day in the 90s and how he got caught up in prison. And before that, I heard stories about certain Italian people that I went to school with, and they told me about how good he was and all that stuff. But he did some bad shit too. He's all the same like everybody else. But Michael talked about him extensively. Michael Francis. Now, Michael Francis, you can find his channel and type in what he said about John Gotti and this and that. They got videos on that I haven't seen yet, but he broke down John Gotti. I may speak on him on the next Thursday Thrills. I don't know. I may speak on because I gotta see more about Gotti. I gotta speak more about him because I saw a few of his documentaries about him and then stories about him. See, I didn't get to see much of Gotti. He didn't really last long on this planet, but he was feared in his early days. I give him that. But after the tail end, he wasn't the same. People said he wasn't the same. Well, Gotti was gonna do prison time for a long time. But I did see that Wayne Perry shit. That Wayne Perry shit was deep. It says people's from Georgia and they moved to DC with his brother and things like that. But Wayne Perry was something else. I think he's got some people in Georgia, but I think he's born in DC. But he's got a Muslim name in Seattle in prison or whatever. So he's got a Muslim name, so he's in Islam right now. But he does have a little regret of the killings, what he did back in the day. He owns up to it, and he's real. She a homebody. That's a great thing. Yeah, it's a lot of whores on Twitter. Oh, appreciate it, man. But it is what it is. Like I see what's going on, man. I see what's going on. Appreciate you, D. Actor, singer, Jim Norbis, the Andy Griffith Show, Gormer Pyle, U.S. Marine Corps, dies at 87. Damn. Jim Norby's died. Shots at two off of TV. Damn, he passed away. Damn. So a lot of people passed away. What's that football player? Not baseball player passed away. His name was Perry. Yeah, he was a legendary pitcher. Liver King lied about his 11,000 on steroids. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fake people on the internet trying to get what they get. Yeah, man, it's some wild shit. Yeah, I saw all those documentaries, man. Like that's why I've been looking at a lot of history and things like that. Talking about Delaware, talking about those families. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of mob families. Some of them are just outfits. The Chicago outfit, the one I'm about to watch real soon. What's his name? He helped Capone and them other guys in Nitty, Frank Nitty, and he killed himself, blew his brains out. I mean, suicide. I won't say suicide. He killed himself. A lot of people try to say, "Don't say kill. That's bad." No, call it what it is. It's suicide. Blew his brains out. He had two attempts, and then third time was the charm. He did with a bottle. After that, he died eventually on the ground by the fence. Johnny Tortorio, the ruthless Italian American, mobster with the Chicago outfit. Yeah, I'm about to watch that. That's like 9 months old. But I'm gonna watch this Bucky Davis and the JBM first before I look at that. Then I got Michael Francis again growing up with Sammy the Bull Gravano. His daughter's going to talk about him. That's about it. It's not pretty much there, but a lot of these dudes, if you see a lot of mafia documentaries of Michael Francis and them other guys, they expose the mafia for you in hands down, especially them Sicilians, the ones that used to be in that shit. It's gonna tell you like it is. But that's the culture that people live by, right? But most of them did not believe that. I want to tell you something about Sonny's son. John, was it? Is it Sonny? I think it's John Sonny Francis Sr., but Jr. did not believe that Omerta. Yes, Omerta, excuse me, Omerta, like that in Sicilian, in a little language. It means code of silence in Sicily or Sicilian language or Italian, they would say. He didn't believe their code of silence. And guess what? Michael said he wasn't a real mobster. And he told his dad, Sonny, he's not he's not built for that life. That's why he did what he did. He wasn't built for that. His dad kind of forced him. John went his own life, similar to that guy in Chicago. He's an Italian and he's Irish. Calabrese. Yeah, Calabrese. He was similar to Calabrese. That family reminds me of the Calabrese boys or whatever. He did his son that way. Calabrese. Was it Frank Calabrese? And Frank Jr. Got rid of him? Yeah, I saw Wayne Perry, the Michael Jordan of murder in Washington, D.C. I saw that one. And then I saw Alpo right after that. Did saw Frank Matthews, and they ain't found that nigga. That nigga beat the system. They said the government created. Nah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. We know about that. That's bullshit. Chicago gangster betrays father. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, I saw that on A&E. Frank Nitty. That's a good one. He was a stone cold killer too. He was cool with Al Capone, and he suicided himself. Yeah, man. A lot of these mob guys, they can tell you about their little stories. They don't go in depth what they did. They're very situational. Frank Lucas, to me, he was a drug dealer. Technically, he's a snitch, but I know why he snitched. I know why because he wasn't no gangster. I ain't gonna even say he snitched. He's in witness protection program. Now he's a criminal code. Yeah, snitching is bad, but in reality, who cares? I mean, gangsters care about that criminal code of silence, but drug dealers, I wouldn't even count them. They're expendable. It's a useless. society, and then they just protect their own ass. No one does no harm and no drug. The only gangsters do that, but average person don't really care about that shit. To be honest with you, that shit's been dead. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna step away real quick. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna check on something. I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on? Okay, he said Nikki Barnes. Yeah, he's another one. Some female. Um, somebody was doing his woman, and then he started tripping, and then he flipped. They're under witness protection. I don't know if they're dead or not, but quiet as it's kept. It's good luck for that, but they end up getting got. You saw what happened to Alpo, rubbing in people's face. They'll get rid of these dudes. They don't know where they at, but it's a possibility that those two will get got. They was on gangland though. I do know that. I saw both of them from gangland, like American Gangster. I think I got that on my PS3 saved and watched it every time. They in witness protection big time. They got new identities and nobody can't find them and shit. Them niggas is so. I try to tell you, they just a bunch of sorry ass drug dealers, man. Sorry ass drug dealers, and they ended up being what they were, and that's why our people get so caught up in the glamorization of. I don't really care for them, but yeah, early in the stream, I talked about Papa Doc, and I saw that documentary with Benito Mussolini. Man, that they broke down some stuff that I didn't have. Well, I had enough knowledge of them, but I didn't know about how ruthless they was and how accurate they broke down certain things and the cultures, how they grew up as children. I look at from the childhood perspective and then going on what they are now. See, we know on the second that we don't know at the beginning how what made them become that. So yeah, people support guys like that. Yeah, Haiti's an interesting country. I try to leave Haitians alone. They can speak on that. Digital spy. They have a movie called Mad Max. They had like a delay. I was looking at video games right now. Just looking at it for what it is. But yeah, basically I'm just saying for what it is. People get caught up on that stuff, but I just realized that when I was looking at Papa Doc's documentary and with Mussolini and him together, and I was looking at that, I was like, I was intrigued by certain information what they did. Now I already know what they did historically, but the other stuff, what they did, what was behind their inspirations, what they did in their childhoods, and what they went on to be who they are. That was a great breakdown. Whoever did that was genius on that. They took their time with that interview and did their research. So it's pretty much like, yeah, do your research. But the Italian mafia, quiet as a kept, I always start out with them first, and then I get to the world leaders and shit like that. Crime and shit. I talk about current events and all the time. The mob, to me, is quite opposite what they portray them in movies and video games and stuff like that. I think Michael Francine's exposed that it's just theater when they talk about the mafia, especially the ones like in the mafia series. And if y'all see them on both consoles or PC, whatever, The Godfather is more accurate than the fictional story of the mob. But they did use a code of silence. They did do some violence. It's pretty accurate what they did. But the ones like mafia games, you got to be careful. There's a lot of theatrics. The second game had a lot of theatrics. The first game, they redid that. It's very little accurate of the past of the 1920s in Chicago and the 30s of Prohibition. And then The last one, I think the third game was more about Vietnam, and it exposed the Carlos Marcello angle of the mob in Louisiana, how it started. So the mafia was big in what? In New Orleans. But then the game in the third game, they call it New Bordeaux based off New Orleans. They had Mardi Gras in the beginning of the game. It was back in 68. So that's pretty much it, you know. That's how they look at it. So yeah, it's an hour, and then when 10 rolls around, we'll cut it through because I know people ain't coming through. But shouts out to people that came through. Shouts out to UD, Degenerate, the legendary Wacky World of O. Appreciate you for coming through. And who else came through? Tampa. Shouts out to you fellas. And Mike V, of course, and Mike M, the fourth, Metro, the fourth. Appreciate y'all. But it is what it is. East Harlem Purple Gang. I've heard of them. Heard a little bit about them. Not much, but I think he was Valachi. I forget his name, that dude named Valachi or something. Did I mention Vito Genovese? Yeah, I did. But that whole structure, that guy that told about them with the feds, the whole mafia structure, it was over. The consigliere is an advisor of the mob, they would say, right? And then the underboss is like secondary leader to the Don. And then you also have a capo regime. A capo regime is a captain. He's a captain of the mob. He's technically the leader of the group too, just like the boss, the underboss, and consigliere is an advisor. An advisor is a leader too. He advises you not to make silly mistakes. But 95% of the time, most of them, the consigliere, they always going to be in the courtroom. How I know this, when I played the game Godfather 2, I didn't play the first one, but I got both of them on the Xbox, you know, trying to see if the gaming library brings them back, because their structure is very similar what Dude exposed in real life. And what they did though was they stayed in the courtroom. There's a mission you play in Godfather 2 that Frank Pantangeli was going to testify against Michael Corleone. And I'll tell you a secret. Dominic Barbaro that you play as stops him from doing that and get Vincenzo's brother, and then he wouldn't testify, but he did serve time. Put him away. Because they was trying to indict the mafia family back then, like they did now. In the 60s, they kind of did it, but in a way, they just made it worse. And they start falling down further in the 21st century. Their legitimate business and all that, money laundering and things like that. So it's pretty much the same. So that's how I look at it. But you know, when people get caught up on that shit, they just be like, all right, we here, and just expect things to be normal. But then again, people just get caught up on a lot of stuff. And then you just look at it and be like, what's going on here? You know? But then when people get caught up on talking about things that's happening right now, why would people care about certain groups? but I was just looking at documentaries and learned about why these guys did what they did. They just did it for survival. I just love history and time periods what they did because that was a great era. But they crossed paths with each other. It's just something else. I had to watch Danny Green again. I mean, his mom was pregnant with him back in the 30s, and they got married. And next thing you know, they had him. His mom died in childbirth, and the dad was a drinker. Was a drunkard, and then he eventually was. I think he sent him to the orphanage first, and then he lived with his grandfather. And after that, his dad probably done dead or whatever. It is what it was. It is what it was. And that's how you got to look at it. But it's basically I see what's going on right now. But yeah, and shouts out to Tampa early. He said about the panel thing. I'll talk about that on the vlog stream. Why I don't do it because it's a lot of fake motherfuckers on here, and I'm still clearing for the fakeness for a time being until if it's opportunity, I will hit it. But but 9 to 10 people is just gonna I ain't gonna be on no campaign tour. Niggas is so fake on here. It ain't even funny. Ain't got time for arguing about no bullshit. Unless if it's cohesive, I'll join. But if it's on some bullshit, I'll leave. I ain't got time for that. I'm too old for that. A lot of secrecies and shit. Like I ain't got time for that bullshit. I don't do shit like that. And that's how people got down. But then again, you just look at it for what I've seen in these documentaries. It's a lot of good stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna check Dude out. The one created the Chicago outfit and helped Al Capone and Frank Nitti. And he created a monster, John Tutorial, the ruthless Italian American mobster. Full story, not much, but he left it. Then I got to watch the Growing Up with Sammy the Bull de Gravano sit down with his daughter. I believe her name was Karen Gravano. Talk about Sammy's ass. Then the fall of the Italian Mafia full documentary by Favy Talks 6 months ago. I need to see that. So it's pretty much we in the hot seat. I might watch them tomorrow morning, or I may watch them after I do the stream. Because don't quote me on that. Yeah, man, it's just what it is. I'm gonna see something real quick. Yeah, let me step away real quick. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on mute. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. But like the reason I talk about these topics and documentaries I've been watching on YouTube, it ain't really much because I ain't been watching the news lately. I kind of fall back because they talking about the same old shit. I already know what's going on over there. But it's kind of crazy though. And then you got Duke talking about the Liver King. The Liver King's a clown. I don't even watch it. I don't see what Duke talking about. He said that dude's fake natty and stuff like that. I like fitness myself, but yeah. And then I got on the screen, not pressing the chat. It says Evolution of Evil again. Your Papa Doc. That's a good documentary. I'm sorry that exposed both sides of those guys' roles in it. So it's pretty much I'm seeing what's going on. But then again, it is what it is. I don't salute to him because he talking about that fake natty shit. Yeah, it's a lot of them in the fitness industry and all that stuff. And the fitness channels on YouTube are garbage. I used to watch the Hodge twins and everybody else. They talk about that stuff, and then there's a lot of them on that fake shit. So it's pretty much like it's nothing new. Like the stuff y'all talking about, man. Like I've been hearing that shit for years, and the guy got what he got. I'm just looking at the Dev Way show, and that's one of my favorites. And it's some decent streams. And then I got the professional does the lore videos and the video game. He's cool too. He breaks down a lot of stuff in New York and the stuff about Grand Theft Auto and all this stuff. That's his thing. That's his content. He got it from the online feature. But be careful with these video games to talk about mafia and stuff like that. They have a false version of what the mafia does. A lot of it's theatrics and all that shit. Just be careful. It's not accurate. Michael Francis exposed that a lot of mob guys never did that. They did quite the opposite, and they kept their mouth shut. And now the ones that did not keep their mouth shut, they'd done some problems and done harm to them. You didn't hear about it, but it did happen. And Michael Francis break it down a lot of the famous stuff you remember. And then he got caught up with the feds and they locked his butt up. He could have put them all away if he wanted to. If Michael would have did it all over, he would put them all away and flip. But it's not in his nature to flip anyway. So then they try to bring up Norby Walters and shit. Well, he even tell you on his channel, he didn't turn Norby Walters in. He lives in sunny California. So everybody wants to bring it up out of hate because they mad because he didn't flip. Now his brother flipped because his dad for several reasons, because his oldest brother wasn't a mob guy. He wasn't built like that. He was forced into it by his pops. Never was good enough. So it is what it was. I was his boys. But then again, you see this stuff all the time. But people get caught up on the other shit. But that's the stuff that you see on the internet, and then you expect people to just come through and start talking. But then again, I see this a lot on YouTube a lot of times, and then people just get caught up on a lot of stuff, right? And I just don't understand why people just get caught up on other things. But then again, what do I know? But the Shaquilla Robinson case, it is what it is. And talk about that girl that beat up her while she was naked. That, to me, I don't believe that's a trans. I'm so gonna say that right now. She's a trans. I ain't saying Shaquilla is, but that person that whooped her ass was a trans. That was a dude. I don't buy that's a female. Like I said, they got her. That's all that fake arrest story people be posting on YouTube for clout. They stupid, and you're supporting the trans. Get out of here. Can't fuck with y'all. I can't fuck with y'all niggas. Every clout chasing. But shouts out to people that talking about history and stuff like that. But Mike Francis is anti-mob. He used to be in the mob and certain families, and he was a made guy. He said 5 people were made, and half of them are gone, except for a few. He's not proud of what he did, and he's honest about that. He's the only one that makes sense about the mob and stuff. Pretty cool guy. He's got a good channel. You know what I mean? Y'all should check him out. It is what it is. Yeah, Big as Hell was right. Big as Hell is right. Let me see the view count. Yeah, I done got some recurring. Yeah. Black women 40s over and 50, you're getting. Let me see some right here. But that's how I look at it when people just get caught up in the moment. But then it is what it is. People get elated to it. But then again, you just see what's going on here and expect more of the same. So yeah, man, it's a lot of people I don't even fuck with on this YouTube shit. I just be careful who I watch and I just keep it 1,000 with people. But yeah, YouTube's always been extreme like that. But then again, you just got people just want to cry about shit and just get caught up on the ending. You know, that's just how I look at it. And then when it get really close to it, there you are. With the mic in my hand, hey, I could have screened through the computer and also stuff and things would have been normal. But I just chose to get the gear and I said, you know what? I'm gonna sound different. I'm gonna sound smooth and just be appreciative of what's going on. You know what I mean? That's a signal chain, but you know how it goes. We got to protect these people at all costs. All costs. You know, we got to protect these people at all costs. That type of shit. It is what it is. Talk Heavy Podcast. It's in the books. See what's going on here. All right. Okay. Shouts out to everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. This is Thursday Thrills. Should I say the 42nd edition? I'll come back with a 43rd edition next week, and I'll talk about my weekly current events and what I see on YouTube and documentaries found interesting and intrigued by what I've been studying and things like that. Yes, I always stay in the word of the most high power of the heavenly Father's name of Yah, YHWH, simply Yah himself. The book of the remembrance is what I preach. It's what I teach. I inherit, not the New Testament, the good spell the gospel of the New Testament. I don't mess with the Messianic stuff. I don't deal with that. That's y'all's thing. Y'all can have that. But anyways, I'm here to stay. As always, the bullshit, I talk about that and just cut it through the chase and stop. No drinker, no chaser. You know how people be talking, but you know what it is. But then again, um, I'll see y'all next time. So I'm out in peace and shalom, and I'm out.